Good morning, gang. Happy Tuesday. Okay, something to pay attention to. I know quite a few of us, obviously me, okay, have dogs or cats, right? You know, house pets. Maybe you have them out to guard your livestock. It's funny watching one of Patera's videos yesterday, and she had just recently got a Caucasian Shepherd puppy. I'm like, oh my God, do you realize how big those things get? But okay, but she's got Pyrenees, so what the hell? But yeah, I mean, we have working animals around the house, we have just house pets, etc., etc., etc. And in the last couple of years, we've heard all the stories about artificial meat, lab-grown meat, right? And the people have pushed back against it like crazy. I'm not eating this crap. Okay, you know, the Impossible Burger, you know, or Beyond Meat, or, you know, those were absolute flops for everybody who tried, you know, Burger King trying with their Impossible Whopper or whatever. Yeah, nobody wanted it. So what do? People won't buy it in the restaurants. People won't buy it in the stores. It's not feasible for a business model. People don't want it, whether it's meat made of vegetables or whether it's lab-grown meat. And just so you have an idea what lab-grown meat is they take a few animal cells and then basically put it in a petri dish and feed it nutrients and minerals and stuff like that to get to grow you a chunk of meat. Okay, and this is what they think. You know, better living through chemistry is their theory. Well, people complained left and right and said we're not going to buy it, so it wasn't a viable business. So what is their plan now? Now, we're going to add it to the pet food, to your dog food, to your canned food. Do you buy canned dog food? You know, buy Alpo or Pedigree, you know, food or something like that. Check the labels, because this is what Bill Gates, our good friend, and this is what BlackRock are pushing the governments to force the pet food suppliers to make. Okay. So start checking those labels to see if what you're feeding Fido is any good. Now, if we want to take this one step further, that means they're still hell-bent on forcing it upon us. Because why? Well, what's the first thing you do? You test things on animals, right? They do this all the time. They, you know, test medicines. I mean, we can talk about Fauci and his beagles, right? But eventually they're going to try to force this down on us. But why start with the dogs? What, you know, with cats? What good is it? Okay? Well, we can reduce the amount of cows and pigs and chickens that we need. We can just do all this in a lab, and the billions of pounds of pet food that are made every year, we don't need so many cows anymore. We don't need so many livestock. That means less cow farts, right? This is where they're going. But how far does it go with the animals? We all have heard of social credit scores. We know that's coming, right? I mean, if you look on Twitter, Elon Musk has rolled out something called an X score right now, checking how friendly, how positive your comments are, right? How long do you think it's going to take till YouTube does it, or Facebook does it, or Instagram does it, and says, oh, gee, Pinball, your comments aren't exactly friendly. You have a tendency to talk poorly about liberals, and that's going to reduce your social credit score. Well, people aren't real accepting of that either. But so let's do it on the dogs. Let's do it on your possessions. Don't think it's not possible. Look at all the stuff they've done to your car in the last 50 years. Oh, we've got to have pollution controls. Oh, we've got to have airbags. Oh, we've got to have crash detectors. And I'm not saying that they don't save lives. Okay, there's no question about that. The crash detectors and the airbags and stuff, the pollution, all right, whatever you want to talk about. But this was all just forced upon us. It wasn't an option for us. Yeah, you know what? I want airbags in my car. Yeah, I want a catalytic converter on my car. It was forced upon us. It's the same thing here. They're going to force it upon us for Fido. Well, if you want to feed Fido dog food, this is the only kind of dog food we can buy. Guess what, guys? Not you. Okay, politicians or whatever, we don't need your lab-grown, chemically produced crap. A while back, I did a video on making homemade dog food, okay, which you can make. And yes, dogs are pretty much omnivores like we are. Different teeth, I know categorically, they are considered carnivores, but dogs are fine eating sweet potatoes or blueberries or any of the other things that you can feed them as well. Does a dog need a total vegan diet? No. Okay. Dog needs meat. The dog needs those proteins, those amino acids, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So does your cat. But just like us, they can get away with eating both. And so when they're forcing this down our throats, saying, gee, the dog farts are contributing to how much CO2 is in the atmosphere, and they have a carbon footprint, a carbon paw print, if you will. We need to do something about that. So let's change their diet. They can't complain. Excuse me. We still can. We still can fight back. If they want to do this, okay, we Bud Light them, Sorry. Not buying Elpo anymore or whatever it is if you're going to use lab-grown meat. We have to remind these people, these politicians, Bill Gates, Larry Fink, all these morons who think they know better than us what's good for us. I mean, again, Bill Gates is telling us about how we need to take all these vaccines, how our diets need to change. Please, Mr. Gates, tell me about your medical degree. For that matter, tell me about your college degree and whatever you have. Oh, that's right. You don't. Okay. Money does not make you smarter. All right. Use Taylor Swift as an example. But this is what's going on. And you have BlackRock and Bill Gates and, of course, the media lapdogs all saying, oh, your dogs will thrive on this. And what do you bet that within a couple of years, there's going to be some study out there, of course, funded by the lab-grown meat places, that are going to say, look, we didn't show any drop in the mortality of dogs and the age of dogs or whatever it is. Lab-grown meat is perfectly fine for people to eat. Right? This is what's coming. They are going to continue to do this. They're already, Europe, you've got, Holland has already culled the cows, or, not allowed to raise animals. We're hearing all the bird flu, the swine flu, pick something, every reason in the world to get rid of livestock. So many cows, people eat so much meat. Oh, every time you eat a steak, you're killing a cow. Do you realize how much meat is in a cow? I'm supposed to get my cow in February. A cow, and mind you, Mrs. P and I are eating a carnivore diet, okay? So that is pretty much everything we eat is meat, okay? A cow lasts us a year and a half, one cow. And that's with PBJ coming to town or having a barbecue with neighbors or friends or anything like that too. So it's not just the two of us eating it. And I've still got meat in the freezer, okay? I won't be at zero by the time I get this cow. If they're going to do it to the meat, how long do you think they start doing it to plants? Oh, you know what? We don't need to have apple trees. You can just have lab-grown apples. Think I'm kidding? Let's take a look at that snow again. And take a look at where it was falling. The chemical snow I talked to you about the other day. It was primarily falling over food-producing regions. Interesting. We've all asked this before. What's being sprayed out of the sky? Are they trying to kill off the food production? Hey, if we stop Iowa and Nebraska, where there was fog, we can get rid of the corn crop. We can get rid of the soybean crop. Oh, this was going over California. Okay. Was it a third of our vegetables or a third of our fruit and a quarter of our vegetables are grown in California? Okay. Gee, it was going over Texas. What's Texas got? A lot of beef? What cows eat? Grass? Let's kill that. If they can poison the soil, they can kill the food supply. And then they can control the food supply. And when we're down at the bottom of the mountain going, please, may I have another? Go, sure. Here's your Bill Gates chemically produced ground beef that you can have for dinner tonight. We need to pay attention. We need to read labels, and we need to put these companies out of business. We can do it. We have to vote with our wallets. That's the only way it works. Because if you keep buying that crap, they keep thinking you want it. Pinball out.